Alright, what's up YouTube? So today in the video, you have to kind of excuse a little bit of my gut. I've been trying to lose weight, so my gut kind of showed. I was supposed to actually show this into the video. As you can tell right now, right now this is going to be a touch-up, but this is part of the Big Papa truck kit from AMT. So far it's the Ram truck. As you can tell right now, this has been hand painted up, all this white right here. And both sides. Of course, there's a slight color discoloration here and here. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to do is a hand paint. Usually I don't do this very often, but I usually use a very fine brush to get into the details. As you can tell, I see how fine that brush is. Now, this is going to be hand paint. So, really interesting, and I'm going to show you the technique how I did it. So as you can tell, I have you can get this at Home Depot. This is actually a the painter's tape, very cheap. It's like a couple bucks. I actually use this for the hand paint decal. Now what I'm gonna do, so you have to kind of excuse me a little bit on the doing what I need to do here. So anyways, I need to find something like a clean. It's important when you use this to use something clean. You can use your finger. You can use whatever you want. As you can tell, I'm going to start taking a little bit of a strip here. Since I'm kind of going a little bit blind on this because it's a different setup. So I normally do is I go up to the truck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the 18-miller, what's left of the Papa truck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to but figure out where I'm going to put it. So you can tell this has already been hand painted right here on the cab. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to carefully, I can't raise the hood all the way up as much as I would like to. So I'm going to kind of get an idea how and where I'm going to set it up. Normally it's on a rough. So this is how it's going to look like when it's complete. Now imagine this being complete with that being on there. So right now, I got to make a particular outline. Normally, what I would do in this case is I go by inserting a piece of tape. I would normally do it by a certain angle. So I gotta kind of get an idea. So what I'm gonna do, I need something here to use. Now it's a little different than I normally do it. Trying to find a pen somewhere in this mess. As you can tell, I gotta use a pen a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of take a little bit of a pen to mark off where my marks are going to be. Same goes for that. On the other side, as you can tell, it's all kind of like coming together, but not all the way. So I'm going to kind of get a little bit here. So I think I already know how I'm going to do it. Just for the rough of it. So I'm going to take a section. I'm going to put this over here for a moment. So I'm going to move the truck back over to its respective mounting place. Just an idea to exactly where I'm putting the markings. So I have an idea how to do it. Question is, I got to get it up into a certain angle. So I'm going to kind of bring the first angle like on a right. So we're going to do one angle basically necessary over one section here. So I'm going to kind of grab the same thing, another tape, mark it up where I need to begin. Generally what I'm doing is I'm doing a very, it's going to be a hard setup to do. This actually, when I did this for the cab, it was a little different. It was a little bit trickier. And It was quite of an aggravation and headache. So what I'm going to do is I'm cutting off the excess painter's tape because I'm not going to need a whole lot of it to actually do this type of work. As you can tell, I'm doing this for a reason. Put it there for a moment. So now I gotta get this up on the proper angle the same way I did on the other side, which means now there's two doors, which means I gotta go up, over, and under, and so if I'm doing this right, so it's gonna be a little bit kind of like a little bit short, I think, a little bit shy. So it looks like it's almost going to be lined up with the actual. So it looks like it's going to go right here, actually lined up. I'm doing the best I can to get it looking like it was exactly. So this one has to get lined up a little bit more. It looks like this one kind of went more incline under the, right about, I think it was right about here. I believe it's right about here. So I gotta fix the other side then. That means I botched up the other side, which means I gotta go back and do that. Normally, I actually use my regular fingers, and I'll go back and I'll use an actual, honest to goodness, legit piece of tape. So I'm gonna refix this one really quick, just to get at least some kind of side going here. All right, so that will take care of that little part. So, but keep this in mind. This has already been done, but it's going to get painted up anyways, regardless of the situation. So both sides, you can tell. That's the first step. That's the hard part. Now, the next most difficult challenge I'm going to be facing. I want to go up to about, for the pinstriping, actually for the actual striping, I'm actually going to do the blue. The blue is going to be the first thing. Not really the blue first thing, but it's going to actually be the yellow. And then I'm going to do it from there. So I'm going to basically take two different kinds of strips here. One, a full separate, only because I got to see exactly where this is all going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to about, let's say I bring this piece of tape. I want to bring that up to about 1, 2, so I want to bring that tape, I believe, probably right about up to maybe the second. I want to go straight across. I want to go in between the door handle and the hinge. That's one side down. Now I just got to kind of do a little nip and tuck or tuck and fold. So we got that there. That's one down. Get that all together. So now we know exactly where we're going with it, and I'm not going to botch it up. So we're going to do that side. So we're going to make sure we do this as a reference. I actually need to borrow, let's see. So this one here, no, that's a little too short, so we don't need that. So what I'm going to do in our next part is I'm going to make sure I do the same thing halfway up to the, let's see, that was up to what? Halfway to that door, the lock. So I got to do the same thing on this side, which means I got to go halfway up to the door and the lock. Right. So now I have that. I think I have it to where I need it. Let me check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Let me fix that real quick. It's got to be 3 even. So it's got to be 1, 2, 3 down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So that means I'm going to put, means the other side's gotta get fixed. Never goes. It's like ongoing, but it never stops. And that looks right. That does look a bit right. So I'm hoping that this is where I should have it. It's okay if it's a little off. It's not really much of a show truck. Keep in mind that this is going to my new home. Apparently, as you could tell from the video before, way before this one, there is a home in process. It's a mobile home, so I'll be out on the road a little bit more. So as you can tell, 1 and 2. Now we're gonna work on getting into here, which right now I'm just gonna do the focus on the taping at the bottom. I'm doing it by a process of elimination here. So within very good reason in doing this. It makes my life a little bit easier, but us at the same time, it's going to be a little more fun. So I'm going to go halfway up onto the back of where the truck is. So that means, let me face it around the other way so we have an idea to what I'm doing. So I go up to about, here. Just get that right, straight across, bada bing, bada boom. So we got that set. Okay, that's one side down. It's gonna be looking a little funny, just like a bad Easter turkey, or a bad Easter ham, I should say. So let's see, I gotta get this kind of partially segued. That's a little bit too much. That's not bringing it up all the way, so that's not going to work. Should have done it in one shot, but there was a reason why I did this, and I'm going to kind of get a little bit there. Bring this little outline. I think I have it where I need it. I hope I have it where I need it. No, I don't. Not where I want it. So I have to actually run a second layer. Oh boy. So I'm going to run a second layer to it, and hopefully we can just run away and hope for the best here. So we'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, that's a little bit better now. This I can actually go with now. So we're going to do that. We're going to get this all together. Of course, the reason why I'm doing it this way, completely opposite versus what I have done, is only because it's making my life a little bit easier, and I don't have to deal with the aggravation later on. Normally, I would do the blue, but I'm doing the yellow. So I'm trying to get an idea, get my feelers out there, see where I'm going to go with the yellow paint. So I'm doing what they call a pre-mask before the actual blue paint, and a pre-mask before everything else can actually work into its proper setting. So we're going to do that. Everything all together here. So I think I have that part done. Now I need to grab a little bit more of a painter's helper. Painter's helper tape. So it gives me an idea to where I'm going. So now I'm going to line this up very carefully. This one I'm not going to worry about too much because I already know exactly where the paint line is going to be. It's an old trick I've learned years ago. I did a project that took over 3 years, and it was actually a model ship kit, and I actually used to hand paint the basic pinstriping and everything else, and I actually 3 years to build, and I still have it to this day. Actually, it's just basically in a display right now. So I'm just going to kind of get everything all lovey-dovey, tucked in, really nice. So I'm basically going to do that. Get this here, get that here, get that here. So I'm going to get this together, make sure we got everything together. Now, since we have the blue tape on the bottom, so that means now I know where I can begin. Sorta. We're not done. So what I gotta do is I gotta take another lining, Now, for this one is going to be a bit tricky. The way I'm going to do this one is kind of like, I don't know how to really put it, and trying to go in a different direction with this one. So I'm going to try to do a different lining for this. This one is going to be a split in the middle of the tape. And what I mean by split in the middle of the tape, that means that part of this tape is going to be split in the middle. And it doesn't have to be an exact cut, which is something I'm not going to do. So we're going to just sit back there for a moment because I actually got to split this down the middle. The best I can to my ability. And I need something to cut on with, which could actually more likely be helpful. I can't use that because that's my plate, but here we go. I watch everything fall on me. So anyways, just make sure this is clean. Or it should be plenty enough clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from point A to point B. Split this down in the middle. Have what they call a middle seam. And I'm going to be very careful. And the thing is, like, I'm trying to do this so I can get it done and taken care of. Hopefully, in my case, I can get it done and not have to worry about this later on in my life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully take it as much as I can to try to get into the center, which is kind of difficult to do at times, especially given the circumstance. I have to cut the best I can to what I know, to the best of my ability here, and I'm going to make sure that I got into that crease only because I want to make sure I don't have anything lingering later on, only because you don't want to have that said problem. So what I'm going to do, see if I did this right. I should have enough. I think I should have enough for the length, which I'm going to double check real quick. And I am almost close. I just need to cut a little bit more, and I will be ready to actually mount this to the bed of the truck. Now I just take the other part of this without the word of my best friend saying you don't want to jackass it if you don't know. You don't want to jackass it in a way that it could be a bad idea to mess things up in future endeavors. So I'm going to just cut this straight through. Just make sure I do the best I can to get through this line and nothing else shortly after. Just make sure you cut through. Just kind of like take your time. If you ever do this, please take your time slowly and steady, and you'll be able to finish this up without no problem. Now, doesn't matter how you do this. I know this line's a little bit bigger than the other one, and there's a reason why. For me, I don't need to make this perfect. I just need to make it enough so I can see exactly where my exact location is going to be on this bad boy, which now I'm going to take my time doing. So what I'm going to do at this point is I got to take a little bit off, what they say in the barbershop, a little off on the top. But what I'm going to do is something a little different than normal. So I got to figure out how, in my cat's mind, am I going to get this together? That's a good question. So I got to cut a piece of the wood, piece of the tape, and what I'm going to do, let's see, how much do I need to shim off here? Oh, yeah, that'll work. We'll shim off about that much. Put a little extra. So let's see where I put with that. I'll take this little extra right here, this little guy right here first. Put this guy down here for a moment. And as you can tell, the reason why I'm not doing a fast motion video of this is to give you an idea. If you ever decide to paint anything hand painted, you have an idea to how this can all turn out. So I'm going to go halfway to right where the lighting is on the truck, or almost just about halfway. And I'm going to take, mind you, this is going to be a little weird because it's got a little thing over here, which is going to have more color, more yellow on it, which is fine by me, which I can actually deal with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I know here. I'm just going to make sure this is all runs up straight. I'm doing another layer, which will lap the first one, the first tape. Now keep this in mind, I normally don't do this as much. Trying to be very cognizant to exactly how much I am putting in, the tape, the groundwork, and all that fun little uh, do that and other things that could be a problem along the way. So I'm just gonna kind of just use my finger. Sometimes I will use a paper towel. Sometimes I don't, and sometimes I'll just take a little bit of what have you, a little bit like every now and then, just like a little something. So I'm just gonna get this all kind of situated best I can. So now you gotta remember where you go from point A to point B because it's important. But if you are making a short truck, just be advised that sometimes short trucks are going to be a little bit different than others. If I can find my scissors somewhere in this mess. Okay, so my scissors are gone. Okay. So anyways, I just use my trusty handy dandy X-Acto blade, which I've used for ages, and I think I've had this X-Acto blade since I was building competition show cars, and as you can tell, it's been through its fair share of war and everything else. Right now, I'm only going to show you side one of this this kind of painting. I'm doing only because I don't want to be ahead of the stream. I don't want to be ahead of everything else. So the next part is I need this little thin guy, which, thin linguini. So I'm going to run this one the same way I did with the others. And I'm going to do the same, cut the nub off. Right about, if I can, wait, almost got it. So we're going to make sure we cut them right there. Same thing, we just put this over here. And make sure that's there, only because I want to make sure it's even where the other light is. So it looks like we're even there with the other light, which is surprising because normally I don't do this. Normally, I only do certain things if it's necessary, and I don't normally do this unless if I have to. I actually can take this wood plank out of here very soon because I don't need it when I'm in the process of hand painting the first side. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to basically run the first part of the decal along the way. Run it. As straight as an arrow as you possibly can do. I would say probably right about there is when you probably want to do it. But let me check to make sure before I fully confirm. And we're good. I just had to make sure that we were fully confirmed on running a full thing. As you know, this is like I said in the past of what was happening with my YouTube channel. This is basically more a how-to videos now. I've started to slowly disappear from the gaming on YouTube so I can enjoy building what I build and building it, for the fun of it and not for anything other than. Unfortunately, I have to reverse the role, I think, but then I'm not 100% sure because I can't tell anymore if this is even it's best I can probably get because I know the white's going to be in the center. We're going to have white in the center, right? So it almost sounds like the white's going to be in the center and it's going to be more the best I can do it as far as that goes. Yeah, okay, so this is the side. Right, so this is the side I've actually started to cut. So now I'm gonna do it anyways. Don't do it, but this has been dried long enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece of wood off my shoulder. Off my lap. Sorry. And of course, I got some dust, which I know there's a Dust in the Wind song somewhere in there, so I'm just going to kind of leave it alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bit of a somewhat clean piece here. So I'm going to just kind of run this over real quick. Just the top part of it, because I'm going to be stripping off the first layer, which will be the high point of everything. And it seems like I may have went a little bit different on one side than the other, but hey, Bobby. Nope. Looks like I'm even. So it looks like I'm okay. I think. I'll find out in a second when I start painting, huh? But worst come to worst, if it comes out uneven, I'm not gonna worry about it. Because mind you, this is not a show truck. This is something I'm doing personally under my own endeavors here, and I think I may have just goofed it up. No, I didn't. Or wait a minute. No, I didn't. I did not. I did not goof it up. But the best I can do right now, huh? You know what? Hold on. Wait. Let me just see if I can fix this really quick. Yeah, I kind of figured as much. I gotta fix it. Yeah, you know what it is? I had it reversed. That's what happened. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I could tell I had it reversed because I had it cut the wrong. I did the wrong way. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, I got you. Let me get this here. Okay, that works better. Okay, so that'll look a lot better now. Just get all this together for. May have to fix the other side too, but we'll find out in a second here. Want to make sure I get as humanly close as. Yeah, okay, that works. That's better. I knew something was off when I went to go do this. Good thing I caught it now because once I start doing the painting, it's going to be permanent. You don't want to have that problem. So I just have to be very cognizant where I paint. Be very careful when you paint because if you paint the wrong side, then you're going to have to go back and try to do it again. It's a mess. So I think I have everything set now. That should be where it is. Now keep in mind, this is solid here, but of course you can tell by the striping. The way I'm doing this, only reason why now here's the thing. Now you're going to think that I'm going to be painting in here. No, it's up here I'm going to be painting with the yellow. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do this by hand. Like I said, for me to do this is something I normally do, but it's only going to be one side per stream. So as you can tell right now, this is going to be, I have the start of it. And these are how I normally start up things when I build these truck kits and I hand paint. So, yellow. Okay, now the type of yellow I'm using is going to be the color that I normally use for any of my throwbacks or retrofits or anything like that in that nature. So, my handy dandy brush. Now, as you can tell, you got that, right? Now, the color is going to be an Insignia Yellow, which is by Model Master, FS 33538. This is a flat color. Now, I know what you're thinking because I have the glass blue, but as I was indicating before, I have a Model Master clear coat, which will be used on a brush, but a separate brush for this. Don't ever use the same brush because you don't want particles or impurities that are going to be inside there. So, and then last but not least is my favorite. They call it cheater lens. Unfortunately, I got to wear them because I can't see very well anymore in fine detail. And then last but not least, a little bit of jar thinner. Pay no mind to the murkiness of the water or the thinner. So I'm gonna start gearing up for this mess, and so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off on the side that has the what they call the yellow polka dot bikini, which is the very unusual lining. Yours truly has made, and therefore I'm going to start doing that in a process of a very simple way. So I make sure all my stuff is together. Make sure we're all set, all good. There's no problems. Make sure we have everything there. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a very easy thing, and last but not least, the paint's starting to stick. So we're going to begin this. I just got to open it. It's been kind of a while, so I'm going to have to mix the paint. So I'm doing that. I got to open it up all the way, but there's a seal, obviously, that kind of gave it a little bit of a issue with me earlier during the last time I did this. So I have to use a pair of handy dandy tweezers, which I actually used during my time of in metal working. There we go. Dusty. Just like my life. Dusty. So we're going to put this off to the side at the moment. Leave that there for a sec. And then I just got to stir this paint up real quick because it's very important. Doing the best I can to stir up this paint and make sure you get good enough to a point where you think it's see fit for you to actually do this, which in my case, well, I just do the best I can. So, of course, this is a chrome part. This is on a Bluetooth, so right there we have a good color, which should be fine. It shouldn't be anything more, anything less. Just, in that in-between stage. So now what I do, make sure that the brush is free of anything. It's not stiff. And no, you know what? We're going to hold off on that. Well, we'll do one of the sides here. So I take a little bit of yellow. What they call old yeller. And then we're going to have a chicken stripe. Or chicken stripe. Well, whatever. Yellow belly chicken. So I'm going to start painting. I won't be able to show you very much of how I'm painting this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to I'll have to show you afterwards. It'll look kind of putrid by the time I get to a point into the painting process. So it's normally the first coat, and the first coat normally is a rough one. So it's not very much to do a whole lot of. So I'm just going to kind of get in here very carefully. Trying to get myself in those really bad areas. And some of you are thinking is like, why would I want to paint this? Why wouldn't I get the decal? Well, the problem was yours truly kind of goofed up on the order. So it was kind of like one of those moments you have to realize when you messed up, you messed up. As you can tell, getting that color in there, just trying to get everything done. I'll show you the first wave of it, the first segment. Let me get done with this part, and I'll show you exactly what is going on. Yo, what's up? What's up, White Rabbit? So anyways, as I'm going on here, I'm just doing a little bit of a hand paint. Very tricky, very, very tricky. So I'm kind of doing this like very steadily and slow and steady wins the race, So of course I got all yellow paint. So okay, so yellow belly liver. They call me, chicken at that point. If you want to see you get painted yellow, that's the color that you would be. Like in the thing in Futurama, but as you can tell, there's small of a hand painting, small of a very, very delicate procedure. As you can tell, this is all going to be retrofit. Uh, nine out of 10 times, I don't normally do a flat collar, but this is kind of like right now you're seeing me here with my, well, kind of like my half rotund belly sticking out. But yeah, it's what happens when you're on medication. You kind of get that little feeling like you got bloodness, or I do, anyways. But let me try getting here really carefully. So I'm just going to get in here. I'll show you exactly in a minute here how far I've gotten into the hand painting. A very delicate, very hard procedure to do. You know, I'm surprised I never became an actual artist as a career, given the fact I used to go to art school, but never had that time to do it. So this is only going to cover the first segment. Unfortunately, it's not. Mm, get a little bit more in there, the yellow, just because I think even though if you go a little bit too much, it's kind of like it becomes like a very heavy blend. So I'm gonna kind of get in here. There we go. So yeah, I always recommend flat colors if you decide to do that, which be pretty cool. As you can tell, there's really no. I'm not really playing any music or anything like that. Just kind of get myself slowly into it. I almost can feel like I'm like Bob Ross, but I don't want to compare myself to that guy because no good comes out of comparing myself to another artist. It's not a thing I want to do. I like Bob Ross, but I'm not like in. Mm-hmm. Mm. There we go. I think I. Oh, wait. Hold on, go back. Who's got this here? Yeah, it's going to be first coat anyways, so it's not like a really bad thing. So, yeah, everything together. No, there's about several segments in the series I will be doing of this, so there's not going to be anything other than just nothing bad. Just really playing good and everything else, and we're good to go. So that's kind of like where I'm going with this right now. So we're just gonna take our time, pace ourselves with this build in general. And whenever I end up tagging, if I hit the black paint, then I can always go back and touch up later. So yeah. All right. So this is how. Let me see here. I got a little bit here. I gotta touch up on. We'll go back to that later. With the inner wells afterwards because I don't want to do that right this second. And then the last little section for tonight, which you'll see in a little bit here. Mind you, this is a first coat, so it's not going to be entirely finished yet until after about a couple more segments. So I got to do the best I can here to do that. All right, so just a little bit, like the interesting part of this whole mess, but just want to get kind of. Okay, so you're all wondering what I did. Right now, it's only the first coat. We still have the other side to do, but the other side will be in a later segment. But I will show you the moment I get done cleaning up the brush. So what I'm going to do is I got to close the lid back up, and I will show you. First things first, the brush. I keep all my paints together for the color scheme, and I need to find my thing. A little bit of thinner to clean the brush out, little segment, and now what I'm gonna do. We're gonna let this dry. We're gonna let the brush dry. So for a later segment, you'll see more. So right now we're only just doing one side at a time. Basically, I do this only because I'm trying to save the. But just want to take my time. I'll show you guys how this is done very slowly, but step by step. So lo and behold, as a moment right now, until it dries, you have this right now is the first coat. So you see that yellow right there. This whole yellow right here, that's only first coat. So it's gonna look kind of funny looking, but it will be done and it'll look exactly what it looks like on the truck. So right now you just gotta let it dry, let it sit. There'll be another segment video of the other side, the same way I did the first. So we're gonna keep everybody in the loop about what's going on here. This is why I wanted to wait until I had gotten the actual white paint to actually start doing this, because if I don't do it properly, it's going to look like it's not going to look right. And then basically we'll put everything up in a nutshell here. So I'm going to, I did that way to cover it because I'm going to do something really nice with the white on this truck. So anyways, I'm going to just keep that covered. That was only just because I'm doing a layer text on it, and then we'll do it from there. The reason why I did that is so this way I could see a high point to where I'm going. So once this all dries up, after 2 coats or so, I'll mask it up again, make sure it's dried, and then we'll continue on with the other stuff. So right now that's the first coat of it. So it gives me a feel to exactly what I'm doing with this ramp truck. So anyways, it's like I said, this is an idea to what I'm doing. So basically, everything in a nutshell, as far as everything has been going. Just if you happen to like the video, just leave a thumbs up, which I've already see right now. So leave a thumbs up and click on that subscribe button, and also click on the notification bell if you like what you saw today in the video. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them at the bottom. Keep in mind it's going to take a little bit of time before I can actually respond. So please make sure you leave the comments on the bottom. And looking forward to seeing everybody in the next video. Till then, I guess that's pretty much it until everything's been done. There's not much else I can do. So that basically will sum it up into everything in a nutshell. So till then, this is your girl Michelle 362. I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness. And if some of you who have not followed me on Twitch at Michelle362, please do so, which I broadcast there as well. Keep in mind that YouTube is also, like I said, going back to a few of my videos way back when I decided not to do any more video games onto YouTube due to licensing and other issues that are coming up with the YouTube channels. So stay tuned for other fun-filled live streaming of me doing the hand painting, so you guys can get an idea. If you decide not to get the decals for the kit, or if you get the wrong kit and you want to do your own custom decals and then you want to hand paint, subscribe to my channel. And until then, and in the future endeavors, there are going to be some customization videos as well on model kits of what I'm going to do. Hopefully, you guys stick around for that. Eventually, I thought about doing something really special for somebody, for a friend of mine who LGBTQ. So that will be a special video. I'm not sure exactly when the release date is. It's going to be whenever I get done with the ramp truck. And then we have that going on there. But till then, I will let you know when the next video is up. Keep, like I said, subscribe, keep notifications going, and leave a thumbs up and a comment below. And like I said, let me, as soon as I can, I'll respond to those messages, comments, and we'll do it from there. Until then, this is your girl, Michelle362. I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness, and see you guys very soon. Bye for now.